Thank you for staying with us. So our final segment is about price increase. Many people are complaining that prices have quadrupled. So the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has stated that it will not hesitate to take action against businesses engaging in price fixing. It highlighted the strain this act places on consumers, customers' well-being and economic stability, and urge citizens to report such practices. So if you're one of those who have seen that on arbitrary increase in prices in your local supermarkets, in your local stores, the government is asking you to, the commission is asking you to reach out to them. You can call us on 081-076-416-79, 0902-416-3440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. People are just been increasing prices, even when you know that they're goods that are being sourced within Nigeria. And people took advantage of this price increase and taken advantage of consumers, because look, if you complain, who are you going to complain to? So what are your thoughts on this? Have you experienced it in prices in your own stores? And I know you're a businesswoman too, so you're probably also affected. Well, let me come to you, Rama.
So like me now, that I sell products and all, I've bought for example, my groundnut oil. I've bought groundnuts when it was expensive, very expensive. I buy in bulk and stock. So now I've been using it, been producing my oil. Now you are coming and saying we should reduce our prices. Meanwhile, I bought it at the time I bought it was expensive. So I don't know how you now want me to reduce the prices to fit into the new dollar rate right now, because the dollar has come down and all. So that's a challenge. It's really a challenge for me. So I want to know how they want to how they want to make us reduce our prices so that customers and consumers be able to produce.
I want to even know what they mean by price fixing. So aside from Nigerians that are fraudulent in nature, who just hike up prices, anyhow that they like, the majority of Nigerians who are business people have a way they run their businesses. So if you're buying something for 10 naira, you're not selling it for that 10 naira because there are other costs, implications. For instance, you are paying rent, you are buying diesel, you are, paying for electricity bill, you are paying for marketing, you are paying for a lot of things that give you that total package. And you say, okay, we're not going to be selling it, instead of the 10 naira that I bought it, I'll now be selling for 15 naira. And then somewhere along the line, we hear that the prices have come down. So the goods that I had for 10 naira and the other cost implications that were included, the diesel and every other thing, the marketing, the photography, everything I did to get it to a point where I'm now selling 15 naira. How do I mitigate that fact? And this producer or consumer support intervention you want to give, who is going to support the sellers? The sellers are at a dilemma as well, because they're also human beings. Are you telling them to pack up their businesses because you want to support the consumers who will now sell to the consumers tomorrow? I don't think price fixing or price, however they have defined it, is the right way to go. I think we should just continue to make sure that the naira becomes stable, because market forces do not just change overnight. People have stocks that they have stocked up. They have to finish with that before you can now have a price reflective. So if I go back after like a year to stock up again, and then I'm buying at very lower rates, then my prices will come down. But that's stamp of, our dollar has come down. Dollar that has come down, we're not even sure how long it's going to stay down, because there is nothing for keeping that dollar up. I just suspect, and according to economists around me, are suspecting that the federal government is just funding the dollar to stay at this level. We are not producing. We are not exporting. So the dollar that is falling now is artificial. As far as economic, no, yes. No, listen now, listen to me. Listen to me. You're not an economist. I'm talking from the economics perspective. Wait, can I finish it? Let me land it. Let me land it now. You're not selling. If you are selling, you will know what it means to buy something and sell at a loss. A lot of people now are doing sales. I'm doing sales right now. And I'm losing money. Everybody, we're waiting for sales. Want to come and buy your sales. I am losing money. But I just want to sell out that product. Hopefully, by the time I want to restock again, the money, the dollar would have come down and I'm able to get my product. So we are not producing to sustain this dollar. So the market is still skeptical. People need to wait so that you don't lose all of your money.
Okay, so
Give them that time.
I get that perspective.
I'm not talking about fraudulent Nigerians so that just hike price anyhow. I'm talking about regular people.
And as a layman talking to you, because that's what we are on this table, we try to get information from all the resources we bring and we express it. And of course, we also get to learn from our viewers. So there are various factors that can strengthen your dollar. One of which is what you said. Production, absolutely.
And exportation.
It's not the only thing.
Yeah.
There
What
are
else?
other factors.
Which
those
is
policies, the fact that there was so much dollar
being kept in account.
being kept.
Okay.
So that's what the government has done so far to stabilize it. Now that they've done these policy changes, then to take the dollar further, to strengthen Naira further, we need to produce. Because at that time, people like what I said, like Naira can never get to 400 to $1.
Then it becomes stable, yeah.
No, not even stable. Dollar will even drop further because when we now start production, that's the last tail of it, when we start producing and exporting. But those policy changes were necessary to establish, to give the real value of the dollar, of the Naira today.
Yeah.
But afterwards, what you're saying is right. When we start production, it will go down further.
Yeah, it will.
Those that are keeping their money, they keep keeping it. They will lose. They'll be the ones to lose at the end of the day.
I don't think they're even keeping it.
Okay.
So
but let's come back to the matter.
Back to the topic. The price fixing thing for me. We should be, when policy makers, or this is not even a policy maker thing, FCCP is actually protecting every one of us. So this is not a them against us. These are the people we go and meet when we are hit by, when we as consumers are getting cheated. So that's their job. Their job is to sound the warning to brands to say, stop doing this. And price fixing, it goes beyond just what we are dealing with at this moment. Price fixing is when Dangote Cement says I crashed the price of cement, or Boa crashed the price of cement, and other people are out of business. They've done it before. You've bought your thing, so they will now drop the price, and you cannot compete, and your product is stuck. You will now be forced to sell at a loss, and you shut down your business. They hike the price up. These are the things we're talking about. It doesn't affect the majority of Nigerians, that's the truth, but it affects a market segment that influences many things. The same Nigerians that the moment you say, today you call somebody, you're in the market, please, Musa, confirm for me how much is dollar. Okay, I cannot sell it to you. Dollar now is 1,800. This price is now so amount of money. It is immediately reflected. That's what they are dealing with, that we are making immediate reflect. It did not buy the product, though. The product was in the shop. At a point in this country, people were not selling because they knew the price would change tomorrow.
Exactly.
They were hoarding. Those are the people we're talking about. And there are plenty for inside the market.
Separated them, but not all of them.
There are plenty inside the market. So the conversation now is we need to call ourselves out and help ourselves so that we are not hurting ourselves. There are government policies that we cannot fight that is hurting Nigerians. But when we as Nigerians, should be the woman, what was the Minister for Agriculture, Commissioner for Agriculture was shouting that government subsidized farm produce, and marketers, sellers of the farm produce right inside a free market space were hiking the price because they saw higher demand. Yeah. That is what the consumer protection is talking about. That when you are fixing price based on speculation of, oh, this thing will be scarce, take the price up. Or plenty people are asking for it, take the price up. That is what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with honest Nigerians like you, both of you, that you have stocked your goods. Some of you, some products you are selling now, you didn't even change the price up until when you sold it. I bought something recently. I'd seen that price in January.
I didn't change price.
Same price. And the person said it's still old stock. I don't change my prices with old stock. Yeah. That is what we want to see. Yeah. That it continues that way. She said, when I buy the new stock, I will then put the price of the new one. That is what they are preaching. That's what we're all meant to do. But it's not what you are saying is not what is happening everywhere.
And this is also part of that patriotism, because the truth is that it's going to take a while for Nigerians to begin to believe in the systems. But I think also what the FCCPC is trying to say here is that we are protecting consumers. We are here to fight for you. And we also, even those of us who are sellers, must begin to become more considerate. Because as you said, I know somebody, I went to a store, in the pharmacy, to buy vitamins. And in one store, it was a certain price. I think it was 50-something thousand naira. And I was like, something that I bought a few weeks back, this amount of money. I understood the issues. When I went to my other customer, who I call Alaja, I went to Alaja's store. Alaja, what's that? She said, oh, no, it is still that she still has the old stock, that she's still selling with that old price. So I went to come and buy it at that. Now, I can't blame the other person who is selling it at the high price. I don't know if he bought it during the 1,000 naira, $1,800 exchange. I don't know when he bought his own
He may not also have bought it at that time, but electricity has increased. Inflation is going up.
There are
So
many
those
other
are other factors. So
will cause it to
except,
increase.
yes, except you are selling on the streets, where you are not considering the sun hitting on you and you're not adding that to the price. But if you have a proper business structure, there are a lot of people that you're paying. There are a lot of things that went up that you have to factor into the pricing at the end of the day. Who is protecting the seller from the inflation and all of those increments in other things, the diesel and all of that? So what I would like is that I like the way Dangote has crashed diesel. So people who are relying heavily on diesel to run their businesses will breathe a sign of relief. We're hoping that fuel price also will crash. We're hoping he hastens up and gives us fuel so that we know how much we're paying for fuel. That is also a way to mitigate it. And by the time you know it, Nigerians, I don't think we're all that bad. You will go to the market, by the time you add up everything, you see that this price can actually come down. I, for one, did not increase my price for anything because they are old stock. And I didn't feel there was a need to rush. If I sell finish, you finish. I close my shop, I go sit down for my house.
Okay,
but not everybody can afford to do that. So we also need to balance this. While they are having consumer protection, let them also have producer and seller.
That's manufacturer
association. They should also have their own protection so that everybody comes to the round table. These are our challenges. How do we help each other? You don't protect only one side, or else all of us will become consumers. Nobody will sell again. Who will now buy?
At some point, I had to increase my price because when I bought my stuff, it was just at the normal price, actually. But the cost of transportation went up. So I had to increase
your
my price. And the cost of transportation is still high.
Oh.
It has not gone down because of the price of petrol. You understand? And again, insecurities at the farms. Insecurities at the farms. From the north, you know, we have plenty plantation of farm and all of that. But then now, insecurity has now sent everybody away. They don't farm anymore. So even without the products on the farm, they are now less. So you see, so all these things, I don't know how they are going to work on these challenges, but they can work with the associations of market associations.
Yeah. They should meet each other halfway.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's, again, I don't know.
At the end of the day, I feel that we've all that we've said is relevant. It's all feedback. They were speaking based on the perspective of the reports they've gotten from consumers who complained about the prices and how the price is not reflecting the changes in the price. Reflects changes going up, but rarely reflects changes coming down. And I mentioned a few days back that I can attest to the fact that some mobile phones in the market, laptops and things like that, had already reflected the cost going down. What we now expect from government is there must be synergy in policy making so that nobody feels like I'm being left behind and all of that. Even the way Dangote has dropped price, you know, some importers of diesel will suffer because they have imported the diesel
at the high cost.
At the high cost, and they are wondering how they will sell that diesel when Dangote inside has dropped the price. So there are many areas where consumer protection has their work cut out for them, and what might be smiling to one person is causing another person to cry. So the conversation must be more robust, and we must hear ourselves out, even though we don't agree. But
so, quoting from the Federal Consumer Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, they said that they acknowledge the rising cost of essential goods impacts consumers' well-being and economic stability. While we recognize the Commission cannot directly control prices, they are committed to safeguarding consumers' interests and ensuring fair market prices, necessitating fair pricing. Arbitrary price increases stemming from untoward practices like price gouging, conspiracy to manipulate supply, violate existing laws. So there are people, I mean, for them to come up with this,
they have seen
who actually are price fixing, and they are manipulating the market. They said they have manipulated supply, violating existing laws. So this happens, and we've seen quite a number of...
Now, how do we separate them? How do we separate them? How do we know the ones that are really not overhiking the prices and the ones that are? I hear now that rice has really come down, and people are jubilating. So those are some of the things that on their own, it will come down. It's just a matter of time. Going back to the market and seeing that some of the prices have reduced. Your running overhead costs that you do every month has reduced. You would be reasonable enough. But those ones that are stealing, how do we differentiate them from the regular people who are just doing their daily businesses is what I want to know how they'll find, so that we don't end up picking up people who did not hike overhike anything, you know, or maybe they will tell you, come and present your books. What's the cost price and how much are you adding?
All right.
You
I think
all of
that's
that.
all we can take on today. So do you have any comments on social media? A few minutes.
We have quite a number here. So Andrew in Streatham says, we are at the cusp of African traditional markets being digitized. I believe market women need to be reintegrated into a kind of digitized economy. Deeplay says, imagine one seller under band A. They will factor in that new cost, now simple economics. Lala said, and you think Nigeria doesn't. Some Nigerians hike for no good reason. During COVID and NSAS, prices went up and never went back down. Corey Michael says, why should a carton of Indomie noodles be 15,000 naira? Is that not wickedness? Hafsa says, it's a demand and supply thing. If you find out that you are the only one that have that product in stock, irrespective of how much you bought it, you will naturally want to sell higher. And if you don't, someone else.
Let me take Shadrach from Imo. Good morning, Shadrach.
Good morning, my dear.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, please, I want to speak on the effect of this
Can't hear
topic
him.
this morning.
Volume.
Are you hearing
Let me
me?
get some volume there. I can't get the volume. It's really low.
Okay, I said I want to speak on the effect of this discussion this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, concerning the consumers and the other things discussing. Yeah, listen, it is good that when you want to make a policy, everybody must be involved. Are you getting me?
Yes, we're getting you.
Nigerians, the leaders, the government should be at the forefront before any better information given. You cannot slash down or tell people to sell their products below what they bought it. Why? The increase of fuel and diesel and the rest of them are still there. When you talk about the dollar coming down, it's a shambori. It's robbing Peter to pay Paul. Nigeria collected our money to make sure they give to the British chain for them to bring down the dollar rate. So it does not add to our economy. Rather, it is subtracting from our economy. Please, the government themselves, they should act very well in the sense that they should subsidize the bill they give to the nation. But the bill to the nation is too much. Electricity just went up last week. And somebody using electricity, you tell him to set you. I don't know the way he will make that magic.
All right. Thank you very much.
I don't know.
All right. Let's take a few comments on social media, then we wrap up on this.
So Mina TP says, a price cap is for the benefit of everyone. Every producer is a consumer of another product. Sellers should just be conscientious and not try to make abnormal profits for the benefit of all. I agree. Hafsa says, during COVID, chloroquine of 200 naira became 3K and even became scarce. But after COVID, who else they buy chloroquine? If the seller keeps the price at 3K, it will expire on his shelf because no demand. Andrew says, Antnam, replying to Andrew, says, price fixing is wrong, but that's not what they are doing. I'm a core capitalist and market forces with a lot of competition will naturally keep the price on check.
Okay, I think that's all we can take on this segment, and that's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.